Oh, okay. That'd be after
Good evening, softball fans. And welcome to tonight's Mountain 7 District Conference matchup tonight between the Lady Wolfpack of Ridgeview and the Lady Warriors of Central. At this time, we'd like to announce the starting lineups, beginning with the Lady Wolfpack. At pitcher, number 25, Nicole Counts.
I can't hear it.
At second base, number 2, Hunter Grant. At shortstop, number 21, Bailey Frazier. At catcher, number 20, L.J. Sweeney. At first base, number 22, Carissa Mullins. In right field, number 34, Peyton Hill. At left field, number 14, Shay Sutherland. In center field, number 24, Lauren Rasnick. At designated player, number 11, Lacey Williams. And starting at third base, number 31, Camden Sykes. Substitutes for the Lady Wolfpack include number 3, Tristan Lucero, and number 32, Hannah Dotson. And now for the Lady Warriors of Central. Starting at second base, number 22, Brittany Mullins. At center field, number 5, Olivia Mullins. Starting behind the plate, number 3, Brooke Porter. At third base, number 10, Gracie Mullins. At shortstop, number 20, Hannah Carter. In right field, number 13, Olivia Basham. The designated player for the Lady Warriors, number 35, Callie Mullins. Starting in left field, number 15, Gabby Hall. Starting at pitcher, number 1, Haley Mullins. And starting at first base, number 11, Reagan Dotson. Substitutes for the Lady Warriors include number 9, Timber Hughes, number 12, Keely Balthus, and number 16, Samantha Wright.
Sing, I guess.
No way.
At this time, we ask if you would to please stand, remove your caps, and honor America in the playing of the national anthem.
I got it. Maybe. I got it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on a ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaked, and the rockets red glare, their balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hello, everyone, and welcome live to lovely Bill Dotson Senior Memorial Field on the extended campus of Central High School for tonight's varsity softball matchup between the homestanding Central Warriors and the visiting Ridgeview Wolfpack. Quickly, to become a sponsor on Sturgill Sports Media, email sturgillsportsmedia at evansturgillphotography.com. You can find Sturgill Sports Media on Twitter at Sturgill S Media, on Facebook at Sturgill Sports Media. Tonight's game sponsor, the Lane Group, providing engineering, architecture, surveying, and environmental services throughout Virginia, East Tennessee, and Western North Carolina. Office locations in Big Stone Gap, Abingdon, and Galax, Virginia. The Lane Group, tonight's game sponsor. Back with me again here tonight. This is Chad Dotson. Back with me again here tonight. My partner in crime finally returned, Chris Wilson. How are you today, Chris?
Doing great. Been a little long layoff here, doing some coaching duties here on the other side of the game here, but glad to be back with you, Chad, for tonight's softball action.
And should be a good one. You know, Central High School, of course, picked for second in the
Leading off the Lady Wolfpack, number 25, Nicole Counts.
picked for second, but the Ridgeview Wolfpack tied for first. Nicole Counts will lead off for the Ridgeview Wolfpack. She'll take, was that a ball or a strike?
It was a strike.
Okay, she'll take a strike to begin the game. We're off to a rousing start here.
Oh, yeah, no scoreboard tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can keep up with this. I believe that's why we've got a little delay now here, trying to check and see if we actually have an operating scoreboard here to start the game.
Yeah, really. All right, as I was saying, Ridgeview, of course, was picked for sixth preseason. Central picked for second. And right now, Ridgeview actually tied for first in the Mountain 7 District with John Battle. And a big reason for that is the lady that's at bat with us here today to lead off the game. That's Nicole Counts. She's going to be the pitcher for Ridgeview. And I think as you'll see here, those of you in the stands listening, I know there's some of you out there, wave at us. The rest of you at home will understand she's an outstanding pitcher, and Central's really going to have their bats go in today.
Actually, we're in a little slight delay here. The scoreboard is still not operating, so Chad and I will do the best we can. We had to shut the gate out in left field. Gabby Hall struggled a little bit to get the gate shut over in the left field, I'm sorry. She finally has that shut, and we're ready to resume action again.
Even though we don't have a scoreboard still. Here's the one-strike pitch from Haley Mullins, lined into right center field. Olivia Basham unable to get to it, hits the fence. Colt Counts rounds first. She's going to go into second standing up, and that's a leadoff double for the Ridgeview Wolfpack.
Good piece of hitting right there by Counts. Line drive in the right center field. One hops the fence, and Lady Wolfpack off to a good start here with the leadoff double. Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 2, Hunter Grant.
Hunter Grant, the sophomore second baseman for the Ridgeview Wolfpack, will be the second batter. Infield creeping in at the corners, looking for a bunt. Grant does not square the bunt. She swings, grounds it to third base. Gracie Mullins, it's going to be foul, just foul, and we'll reset with no balls, 1 strike. Looks like we've got a scoreboard here. Now if we can get some balls and strikes being called, we'll be in great shape. I don't know who these guys are trying to fix this scoreboard, but they need to do a better job. It's an 0-1 count, yes. We're paying attention.
Yeah, that's Compton back here behind us. I think he's still a little bummed. He doesn't know what's going on right now.
And Grant swings and lines it hard down the left field line. That's going to settle safely foul. And we'll hit the fence. Gabby Hall retrieves, gets it back in, and now Hunter Grant's in an 0-2 hole. Now, Chris, as we saw the other night in the last Central game, when Haley Mullins is able to get ahead in the count, she's really tough to beat. And that's when she's placing the ball, when she's hitting her spots, and she was really doing it well in our last broadcast. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Grant. That's way outside, and that's what Mullins will do. She'll waste him out there, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So if Mullins is on tonight, we should expect to see a pretty good pitcher's duel, good quick game here, 1 or 2 runs here and there. Runs will be at a premium, so whoever can get on the board here first would have the advantage.
Absolutely. That's ball 2 to Grant. No question about it. These are 2 of the more talented pitchers in the Mountain 7 District. Counts a junior, as we said. Haley Mullins, of course, a senior. This is her senior night. She's going to King on a softball scholarship next year. Grant tries to offer at it, holds back, and runs the count full.
Yeah, again, Mullins playing in her last game here at Bill Dotson Field. Her and Gracie Mullins in their last home starts for Lady Warriors.
And Grant watches ball 4. She'll take her base. Wolfpack are cooking with gas now. Runs on first and second.
Now batting for Lady Wolfpack, Bailey Frazier.
Shortstop Bailey Frazier will step in now. Runners on first and second, no outs. Top of the first, still scoreless here at Dotson Field. Frazier takes first pitch for a ball. And I call it a strike, I guess.
Yep, high and away. Play on the edge of the outside upper part of the strike zone there. Mullins gets the benefit of the doubt for the strike.
Pitch swung on, grounded to shortstop. Hannah Carter takes it to third. Gracie Mullins unable to corral the throw from third. All hands are safe. We've now got bases loaded and no outs.
Yeah, hard hit ground ball right there to Carter. Should have been made. A good hard throw to Gracie Mullins. Got to come up with that play and get the lead runner. Unfortunately, Gracie was unable to come up with the catch.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 20, L.J. Sweeney.
All right, now Mullins is through really not any fault of her own other than the walk. Bases loaded now with no outs. First pitch to Sweeney. Called a strike on the outside corner.
Infield scoots in. Here's like the Central Lady Warriors going to try to cut the run down at home if possible. Anything hit hard to an infielder, they'll be coming home, try to force the runner out the plate.
Pitch high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. You're right. We said the runs be at a premium. And as soon as we say that, they load the bases with no outs in the top of the first. But that's why Central's coach, Justin Sturgill, has that infield in. You want to try to prevent as many runs as you can here. So that ball swung and lined hard. Almost takes out Ridgeview coach Kent Grant in the third base coach's box. It'll run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beautiful day out here. And if you notice the flag, it's blowing out. If somebody gets the ball in the air, it's going to fly today. Let's hope it's a Warrior, not a Wolfpack. All right, Mullins will wind and she'll deliver. Oh, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Central will take it, but.
Now batting number 22, Carissa Mullins.
So with the bases loaded, still 1 away now. Carissa Mullins, first baseman for Ridgeview, will come up. Carissa is a sophomore.
I believe Haley Mullins got the benefit of a good strike zone on that called strike 3 on the last pitch.
A little bit of a wide strike zone. Nearly the same pitch is called a ball for ball 1 to Carissa Mullins.
Infield stays in here for the Lady Warriors. Again, looking to cut the run down at home if possible. Anything hit hard to an infielder. And there it is.
Hit to shortstop, Hannah Carter. Carter brings it home. Throw is offline. Brooke Porter's unable to corral it. And Ridgeview will come across the plate on the fielder's choice with the first run of the game. It's 1-0, top of the first.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 34, Peyton Hill.
So what we've seen here is a couple of plays that probably should have or could have been made here that have really affected Central on the top of the first. And now they're down 1-0. Still just 1 away. First pitch to right fielder Peyton Hill. Call the ball.
Yeah, truth be told, Lady Warriors should probably be out of the inning. You had the ground ball to Carter at shortstop and the throw to third. Gracie Mullins was unable to come up with. That should have been the second out of the inning. And then right there should have probably been the third out of the inning. And Lady Warriors should be out of this unscathed, but instead find themselves in an early 1-0 deficit, and the Lady Wolfpack still have the bases loaded.
Hill takes a strike on the outside corner. Haley Mullins will rock and fire again. That one's way inside, taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield still in here as less than 2 outs. Got to try to get that run at home. Could have gotten that one if the throw had been online there. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible throw by Carter home, but just a little wide, and with the runner coming down the line, and again for the catcher position, it's not you got to make a pretty good throw coming home, and just throw a little offline. Porter was unable to come up with it, and gives the Lady Wolfpack an early 1-0 lead.
Another one swung on the grounded to shortstop Hannah Carter. Carter.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that! Carter throws the ball to Brooke Porter at home, gets the force at home. Porter brings it around to first base. Double play.
Yeah, I believe that was a good play right there by Brooke Porter staying awake. Unfortunately for the Lady Wolfpack, Hill was not hustling down the line. I think she just assumed the throw was coming home, and they wouldn't try to turn to double play. Porter, being awake right there, fired the ball to first base after Carter came home with it, and the Lady Warriors get out of a pretty tough jam right there. Again, a few mistakes on their own do give the Lady Wolfpack an early 1-0 lead, but a good job right there by Carter and Porter staying awake and turning the double play to get the Lady Warriors out of any more damage.
You know, you look at it, you start the game with bases loaded and no outs, and to come away with just giving up 1 run, I think that's a win for Haley Mullins, especially considering the Central really had a couple of errors in that inning that didn't help. So, inning double play. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Ridgeview 1, Central coming to bat.
Again, you look back, again, the Lady Warriors had the base, or the Lady Wolfpack had the bases loaded. They only had 1 hit. Lady Wolfpack taking advantage of a leadoff double, and then a walk, and then a couple of fielding mistakes right there to get the Lady Wolfpack an early lead. So for the Lady Warriors, again, good job of getting out of the trouble, but some of that trouble was self-inflicted as well.
Absolutely, and in a tough loss in a game they really expected to be more competitive against Abingdon the other night. That was what it was. Defense got them in trouble. But again, just 1-0. Will that run be enough for Ridgeview pitcher Nicole Counts, who may be the best pitcher, certainly one of the best in the region? We'll have to see. Brittany Mullins, Olivia Mullins, and Brooke Porter will lead it off for Central.
The Lady Warriors come in again, and we talked before earlier in the season. It's only my second game I've been to. I've been unable to get to another one, but again, the Lady Warriors typically with pretty strong offensive lineup. You'd like to think you got to score more than one, or typically at least one to win it anyway. So the Lady Warriors new coming in that's going to have to at least score one run. Probably going to need a few more than that now, obviously, in order to win this ball game.
Plenty of time.
Leading off for the Lady Warriors, number 22, Brittany Mullins.
All right, so Nicole counts the pitcher around the infield for Ridgeview. It's going to be Camden Sykes, Bailey Frazier, Hunter Grant, and Carissa Mullins. Brittany Mullins, Central second baseman, will lead off. First pitch swung on and fouled high over the Ridgeview dugout for strike one.
Here we go now.
Brittany enters game batting .320 so far on the season.
She's not that big, but she's got home run power, absolutely. And she's just looking to get the ball on, so she can get a hit, so she can get on base. She swings and fouls it off twice. Only one strike there, though, I think, right, Chris?
Yeah, only counts as one strike. I guess her bat's so quick as well. She swung so fast and hit it twice, almost like a Bugs Bunny swing right there.
Yeah, I was never able to hit it once. She hit it twice. But she's in a hole to 0-2 now to lead off the bottom half of the first inning. Counts, swing, brings the ball inside. Mullins swings and fouls it down the left field line. Well struck. That's count remains 0-2.
And you mentioned Mullins with some home run power. She has a couple of home runs on the year, 2 home runs. She has 4 doubles and even a triple so far on the season. So 7 extra base hits coming into this ball game for Brittany Mullins.
Not bad as a leadoff hitter, and of course she's playing second base tonight. She's also played some shortstop. Strong defensive player. That ball is going to be outside. 1-2. Nicole Counts is another one that she can hit her spots. And when she's ahead 0-2, she's really dangerous because she changes speeds, can hit spots, put it where she wants it. She's tough to face. She'll come back with a 1-2 pitch to Brittany Mullins. Swung on in the dirt, missed. Catcher L.J. Sweeney applies the tag, and that's going to be the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 5, Olivia Mullins.
Nicole Counts is good enough on her own. You don't need to be giving her some help swinging the pitches in the dirt. Brittany Mullins, an aggressive hitter. It usually works out for her. Unable to get this one. Center fielder now, Olivia Mullins will come up.
Be ready.
Olivia steps in batting .255 so far on the season in 15 games.
Olivia 300 hitter last year, though, in her sophomore season, so she will scoot out of the way of a pitch that for some reason was called a strike.
Notice Sykes here for the Lady Wolfpack playing way in, guarding against any type of bunt here that Olivia Mullins may look to drop down the third baseline.
Sykes a good defender over there as well with a great arm. The 0-1 pitch is going to be swung on. That'll be missed by Olivia Mullins. And again, second straight hitter gets into an 0-2 hole.
Of course, I've had a lot of conversations with Coach Sturger of the Lady Warriors. I haven't been to a lot of games, but I don't think his hitting philosophy is much on the bunts. Like, Chad, you've been to more games than I have. You may have seen a few more bunt opportunities here with the Lady Warriors, but in my conversations with Coach Sturger, he's not much in favor of the bunt.
Swing on and miss, and that's going to be your second straight swinging strikeout for Nicole Counts.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 3, Brooke Porter.
And you're right, Coach Sturgill, his staff's philosophy is don't bunt, hit dingers. And it certainly worked last year. This year it's worked to some extent. But sometimes, you need that one run. Brooke Porter will swing on the first pitch, and she'll foul it off, and again, in the hole.
Again, we've had several conversations throughout the last few months here. We don't exactly see eye to eye. I mean, I get the approach. I understand it. But in a game like this right here, a 1 or 2 run home run will help give you a lead or give you some runs on the board. But in a game like this, you may have to scratch and claw and get whatever you can against a tough pitcher like Counts. And there's no right or wrong answer to it, I guess. But whatever you got to do is score runs.
Coach Sturgill's probably right and you're wrong, I'm guessing.
That's not the first time I've heard this.
Porter takes the ball, and the next pitch is going to be on the outside. That's going to be off the plate, though. 2 balls and 1 strike. Porter, of course, leads the team in home runs this year, was second on the team last year to Rachel Porchy, who's playing college softball now. She's actually been around the last couple of days. Been good to see her back around. A great leader of the Central team last year as they made it to regions. The 2-1 pitch is a strike.
Yeah, we got to hesitate a little bit on these balls and strike calls. So that one looked like it may have crossed the left-handed batter's box, but the umpire decided it crossed the plate for strike 2.
Yeah, we're right behind the plate, right on top of it. So it's, oh, well. That ball hits the plate. That's going to be ball 3, and now Brooke Porter's worked a full count against Nicole Counts. Interesting about this Ridgeview and Central team. A bunch of these girls have played travel softball for years and years and years together. There's a lot of good friends on both teams, and it's interesting to watch them playing against each other now. Here's the payoff pitch, swung on, fouled off right down around Brooks' feet. We'll reset it at 3-2. Again, we're in the bottom of the first. Central down 1-0 with 2 outs here against the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Brooke Porter at the plate facing Nicole Counts. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Counts checks the sign, steps onto the rubber, and she'll deliver. Swung on and fouled again down near the Central dugout. Let's do it again, Chris.
Yeah, let's do it. That's another thing, I noticed these girls from Lady Wolfpack, and maybe even for the Lady Warriors, they wear these wristbands now that have all the signs and codes of what they want to do. The pitchers have one, catchers have one, base runners have one. The old school traditional just hand gestures and signs seems to be a wave of the past.
Brooke Porter will sink line ground ball up the middle, actually, and it'll be a single to center field. And with 2 outs, Central trying to get a little rally going.
We're good. We got
Now
2.
batting for the Lady Warriors, number 10, a senior, Gracie Mullins.
After a 2-out single, the third baseman, Gracie Mullins, will come up to plate. Gracie, of course,
Here we go now.
hit
Here
a
we go
grand
now.
slam
Play it one. We're good.
in
Here
our
we
last
go.
broadcast. She was pretty excited about that.
Here we go.
Would you be excited if you had a grand slam?
I have no way of knowing. The first pitch is taken for a ball inside.
Oh, let me ask you, would you be excited if you got one out of the infield?
Well, can't speak to that either. I did foul one off once. That was very exciting.
There you go.
Just terribly exciting. All right, 1 ball, no strikes. Gracie Mullins, Counts will deliver. That ball's inside, but Mullins swings late, and that's a strike. Swing strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hannah Carter, sophomore on deck. Carter also hit a home run there in our last broadcast.
So see, Coach Sturgill's correct. Hit home runs
It
and
worked
hit
that
dingers
day.
and elevate and celebrate, and you get wins that way.
It worked that day, absolutely. That ball called a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Central trying to get something going here with 2 outs. Nothing doing so far. Council look back down at that wristband. You're right. It's different than the old school, just giving the signs, which is good because some kids seem to miss signs. And that swung on and missed. That's going to be strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Central gets 1 hit, leaves 1 runner on at the end of 1 complete inning. Ridgeview 1, Central 0.
Again, Nicole Counts comes out and strikes out the side here against Lady Warriors. Getting a 2-out hit by Brooke Porter up the middle. Unfortunately, the Lady Warriors could not get much going after that. As you mentioned before the game, Nicole Counts, one of the top pitchers, if not the top pitcher here in the district, comes out and strikes out the side. And Lady Warriors had some pretty good contact here and there. Pulled a few hard hits just foul. Again, Porter's was a good solid base hit. So, Lady Warriors can hit it. It's just going to be, going to scratch out some runs now and see what we can do to, overcome that 1-0 deficit after the first inning.
Well, it sounds bad to say they struck out the side, but you're right. Every batter pretty much made fairly hard contact, and so it looks like maybe they're going to be able to square balls up against Counts. But then on the other hand, you look it up, and Counts has 3 strikeouts into 1 inning. Let's run through our sponsors, Chris. You want to?
Yeah. We would like to thank these people for helping make this broadcast possible and all the broadcasts here on Sturgill Sports Media. ITS, Shade Tree Landscaping, Dale's Heating and Air, Evan Sturgill Photography, Cavalier Pharmacy, Todd's Hair Studio, Genesis Salon, Innovative Graphics, Morgan McClure, Chevrolet Buick and Cadillac of Coburn, Virginia, Robo's Drive-In, Pound IGA, Rainbow Gymnastics, Morgan McClure Ford of St. Paul, Virginia, Chelsea Industrial Supply, Mr. Ben Harding, EMI, England Consulting Group, Home Changes, Powell Valley National Bank, RH Sturgill Construction, Little Henry's Excavating and Paving, Don Green with the Napoleon Hill Foundation, Southern Steel Tattoo, Dr. Chris Basham, and Lonesome Pine Country Club.
Leading off, number 14, Shay Sutherland.
First pitch from Haley Mullins to Sutherland is a called strike on the outside corner. Haley Mullins gets ahead here early on the leadoff batter with the strike. Mullins winds and deals the second pitch, an off-speed pitch that was in the dirt. Unfortunately for Sutherland, she chased after it and swung through the pitch and missed. That'll put Haley Mullins ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Gorgeous changeup from Haley.
The 0-2 pitch is called a ball high and away. Makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Haley wasting one there, as she's wont to do when she gets up 0-2. So I see if she can somebody to chase it.
The 1-2 pitch to Sutherland is grounded foul in the left-handed batter's box. It trickles off to the side. Ricochets off the visitor's dugout. Reagan Dotson retrieves the ball and tosses it back to Haley Mullins, who will reset and look to deliver the 1-2 pitch again to Sutherland.
Sutherland, one of the sophomores in Ridgeview's lineup tonight.
The 1-2 pitch is high and away for a ball, evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Last year, Ridgeview finished 12-9. They had 2 sophomores and 6 freshmen playing last year. So those girls have grown up a little bit, and they've really progressed this year.
There's another ball high and away from Mullins. That'll run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Sutherland. Again, Mullins got ahead in the count 0-2 and has now fallen to a full count. And here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and lined into right field. It will drop in front of Olivia Basham out in right field for a leadoff single by Sutherland.
Second straight inning, Wolfpack get their leadoff hitter on. That wasn't particularly well struck, but gets down for a single.
Number 24, Lauren Rasnick.
Yeah, again, Sutherland didn't make solid contact, but just enough to get it over the second baseman's head. Brittany Mullins over at second and just in front of Olivia Basham for a base hit. There's a bunt. Mullins fields at the pitcher's mound, fires it over to Brittany Mullins at first base. That will go down as a sacrifice bunt there for Rasnick, moving Sutherland over to second base. So the Lady Wolfpack looking to sacrifice an out to move the base runner up 60 feet. And that'll bring up the next Lady Wolfpack hitter.
Number 11, Lacey Williams.
Williams comes in as the designated player. She'll step into the batter's box with a runner at second here and 1 out.
Rasnick got that bunt down. Another one of these sophomores for for Ridgeview.
Pitch is fouled off and off the home plate and ricochets off of Williams there in the batter's box for a foul ball.
That's something that Central and Ridgeview both have a lot of youth, and you'd expect over the next few years we're really going to be battling for the top of this Mountain 7 dish or whatever they change the name to next year.
Pitch from Mullins is ground up the middle. Mullins misses it. Brittany Mullins races over, makes the play up the middle, throws a strike over to Reagan Dotson to record the out. So Williams will go out with the ground out to second base. That would advance Sutherland to third base. So with 2 outs, here's the next Lady Wolfpack hitter.
Number 25, Nicole Counts.
That'll bring us back to the top of the order here with Nicole Counts, again, the opposing pitcher here for the Lady Wolfpack. She led off the top of the first with a line drive double in the right center field to get the Lady Wolfpack kind of rolling, and she would later come around and score the lone run thus far in the game. First pitch from Haley is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Nicole Counts, of course, one of the members of that Ridgeview basketball team has had so much success the last couple of years. Just like a lot of these Central girls are members of the Central State Championship basketball team.
The 1-0 pitch is high and away for ball number 2. Nicole Counts here in the box. Good wide stance. Looks like she's, firmly entrenched in there. Good aggressive stance. Good strong grip. Looking to drive the fastball that comes over the plate out in the outfield. Haley Mullins so far showing she doesn't want anything to do with Counts here in this at bat as she throws another pitch wide. That will run the count to 3 balls and no strike. Based on that first at bat, Nicole Counts, I wouldn't be surprised she has a green light here if she gets the fastball she likes. She does not. The next pitch is wide for a ball. So Nicole Counts will draw a walk with 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Number 2, Hunter Grant.
Lady Wolfpack now with runners at first and third with 2 outs here in the second. That brings up the number 2 hitter, Hunter Grant. She drew a walk, I believe, in the first inning. Here's the first pitch from Mullins. It's a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Again, Lady Wolfpack lead the game 1-0. We have Shay Sutherland standing at third base. We have Nicole Counts over at first, and in the batter's box is Hunter Grant with 2 outs here in the top of the second. The 0-1 pitch from Mullins is inside for a ball. Runs the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Infield not playing in on the corners, although they may be a step closer than normal. Mostly defense in straight up position, looking to collect this third out.
The 1-1 pitch to Grant is a called strike on the inside corner. Nicole Counts races into second base with the stolen base. That'll give the Lady Wolfpack 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs in the top of the second. But again, Hunter Grant now behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A little surprised Brooke Porter didn't throw the ball to second there as Nicole tried to steal. Nicole's quick. Brooke Porter, though, has a cannon behind the arm. Probably the best catcher in the Mountain 7 district.
Haley Mullins delivers a 1-2 pitch. It is fouled off over the visitor's dugout, off the roof of the dugout, actually. That will keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Perhaps, we're going to trust Haley Mullins here to maybe throw a strike or maybe get some type of out right here and end the inning and not risk a bad throw to score a second run by the Lady Wolfpack. 1-2 pitch is off speed, and it's grounded in the hole between short and third. Gabby Hall retrieves it out in left field. Lady Wolfpack will score a run on the RBI single by Hunter Grant. Nicole Counts advances to third, so Lady Wolfpack again with runners at first and third now lead 2-0.
21, Bailey Frazier.
Good piece of hitting right there by the Lady Wolfpack by Hunter Grant. Took the 1-2 pitch, put the bat on the ball, hit a solid ground ball in the hole between short and third for an RBI single with 2 outs.
And now you got runners on the corner with the number 3 hitter, Frazier, up to the plate.
Pitch is high and away for a ball, 1 ball, and no strikes. In her first at bat, Bailey Frazier hit a fielder's choice to the shortstop, and Hannah Carter fired it over to third base. But unfortunately for the Lady Warriors, Gracie Mullins was unable to come up with the throw. The error would eventually hurt the Lady Warriors in that first inning, as that error would end up costing them the lone run in the top of the first.
Looks like Central's pitching coach is going to step out and have a word with Haley Mullins out there. You know, I mentioned earlier that a lot of these girls played travel ball together over the years, and of course you're one of the co-founders of the Heaters travel program. These girls play for the Heaters softball, and I think all the girls. Let's see, Reagan Dotson, Brittany Mullins, Hannah Carter, Gabby Hall, Brooke Porter, Olivia Basham, all those girls for Central. Keely Balthus play for the Heaters, but for Central, or for Ridgeview, Nicole Counts, Hunter Grant, Bailey Frazier played a little bit with them, Carissa Mullins. Camden Sykes all played for Heaters. These are girls that are the best of friends, had good times in the summer, and looks like they helped train some of these Wolfpack players.
Maybe best of friends during the summer, but I'm going to assume best of enemies right now. The 2-0 pitch right here to Frazier is fouled off directly over our press box here, and that will run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Haley Mullins looking to get out of another early jam here that the Lady Warriors are in. Lady Wolfpack with a run here in the second to make it 2-0. 2-1 pitch is called a ball, low and inside. It will now go to 3 balls and 1 strike to Frazier. Again, Lady Wolfpack with runners at first and third, looking to tack on a few more runs here with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. The 3-1 pitch to Frazier is grounded in the hole. Good play by Gracie Mullins at third. Fires a strike over to Reagan Dotson to get the Lady Warriors out of a jam. Again, a good hard hit ground ball. Looked very similar to the one that Hunter Grant hit the at-bat before. This time Gracie Mullins was able to range to her left, get a glove on it, come up and fire a nice smooth throw over to Reagan Dotson to retire the side. But again, the Lady Wolfpack score a run with a 2-out single. They'll take a 2-0 lead going in here to the bottom of the second inning.
1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on for Ridgeview. And yes, an absolutely fantastic play by Gracie Mullins, ranging to her left. Comes up with it cleanly, fires a strike to first base, and it's fortunate because that ball gets in her glove. You get another run, it's 3-0. You got 2 runners on steal with the cleanup hitter coming up for Ridgeview. So very important play by the senior Gracie Mullins here on senior night. And one thing you'll notice, Chris, is out on the outfield grass, they've painted number 1 and number 10 to honor Central seniors. Number 1, Haley Mullins. Number 10, Gracie Mullins. It's an exciting night for those seniors, their last home game. Like to come away with a win here tonight, I'm sure, but they're off putting themselves in a little bit of a hole early on.
Yeah, it's going to be tough again, like we said before. Scoring 1 or 2 runs off of Nicole Counts is going to be tough enough. Now you got to make sure you at least get 3 if you want to come out with a victory, and that's assuming the Lady Wolfpack don't score again in their last 5 at bats. Again, it's a gorgeous day up here at Bill Dodson Field. See several fans out here getting nice, bright, sunny day, blue sky, a few scattered white puffy clouds up overhead. Nice breeze blowing out the center field, the American flag waving out there, wind blowing directly out to dead center. Nice day for a ball game.
Gorgeous day for a ball game, and hopefully more fireworks to come.
Number 20, Hannah Carter.
That'll bring Hannah Carter up here to lead off the Lady Warriors' bottom half of the second inning. Hannah Carter enters the game batting .262 on the season. She has a home run and 3 doubles so far on the season. Here's the first pitch from Counts to Carter. It is high and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Carter, of course, just recently moved from second base to shortstop. She's a really solid infielder, easy for me to say, wherever you put her. She played first base a lot last year. She's played everywhere around the field.
There's a 1-0 pitch. It's grounded back up the middle. Nice stab catch by Counts up the middle. Good one-hop, hard-hit ground ball. Counts stuck her glove out and made the catch and was able to fire it over to first base to retire Carter for the first out of the inning.
Number 13, Olivia Basham.
That'll bring up Olivia Basham, the starting right fielder here for the Lady Warriors.
Hannah Carter really, that ball was well hit. That ball gets past Nicole Counts. That's probably a single into center field, or at least a tough play at first base, but great grab by Nicole Counts.
That one will get through up the middle. Again, another hard-hit ground ball up the middle by Basham. This time Counts unable to get a glove on it. The one hopper to Counts gets by. It skips out into center field. Lauren Rasnick retrieves it, throws it back into the infield for a 1-out single by Basham.
Number 35, Callie Mullins.
That'll bring up the designated player. Callie Mullins comes in.
ball by Basham there was just almost an instant replay of Hannah Carter's. Counts just quite unable to get her glove down and stab that one.
First pitch to Mullins is high and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strike. Again, we have Olivia Basham standing over at first base with a 1-out single. Batting is Callie Mullins with the Lady Warriors trailing here in the bottom of the second, 2-0. The 1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
We talked about the youth for Ridgeview a moment ago. Well, in this inning, we've got 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen are the first 4 hitters of the inning. So youth movement here at Central as well.
Yeah, you got Gabby Hall standing in the on-deck circle of freshmen here for the Lady Warriors, starting in left field here tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Callie. She's a little late, but gets a little piece of it and fouls it off to our right. That will run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
From the looks of that swing, Callie Mullins was really looking to tie this game up in a hurry.
Yeah.
Just a little behind it, fouls it off for strike 2.
Yeah, definitely good hearty swing right there, looking to do a little bit of damage and even this score up. She was just a tad late and fouls it off. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is a called strike 3 on the outside corner for the second out of the inning. That will give Nicole Counts her 4th strikeout here in just 5 outs by the Lady Warriors.
Number 15, Gabby Hall.
That'll bring up the freshman and starting left fielder for the Lady Warriors, Gabby Hall. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Olivia Basham stands over at first with a 1-out single. The first pitch from Counts is high and away for a ball, 1 ball and no strike to Gabby Hall.
3 of the 4 hitters this inning so far. Counts has actually thrown a ball on the first pitch, unlike her to get behind in the count.
Counts looks down at her wrist to get the sign, to get the pitch call. She delivers the 1-0 pitch, an off-speed changeup pitch. It crosses the plate for a strike. I think Gabby Hall was slightly fooled on that, buckled the knees just a tad on the call strike. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think we all were. That was a gorgeous changeup from Nicole Counts, and freshman or not, that's a tough one to hit.
The 1-1 pitch is fouled directly down into the plate. Goes back behind the catcher. She retrieves it. That'll run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. I got a feeling with the way that that 1-0 pitch looked and Gabby kind of buckled, I wouldn't be surprised to see another off-speed pitch right here. Let's see.
It's a good time for it.
Counts gets the sign, delivers the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball. Gabby Hall grounds it to Bailey Frazier at shortstop. Frazier tosses it over to Hunter Grant at second base to force Olivia Basham out at second base. So the Lady Warriors go down again without a run. They get a single from Basham with 1 out, but unfortunately the Lady Warriors unable to do anything with it. And we will go to the top half of the 3rd inning with the Lady Wolfpack leading the Lady Warriors 2-0.
Second straight inning, the Warriors get 1 runner on, but nothing doing, really not much of a threat against Nicole Counts. Still at that 2-0 deficit. Let's talk about today's game sponsor again, if we could. The Lane Group. They provide engineering, architecture, surveying, environmental services throughout Virginia, East Tennessee, and Western North Carolina. Office locations in Big Stone Gap, Abingdon, and Galax, Virginia. Go down there and see Chris Mullins at Lane Group and tell him we sent you here from Sturgill Sports Media. Or don't tell him. I don't know why you'd want to talk to that guy anyway, but I should be talking about one of our sponsors, so that's not good.
Probably not.
He's expecting it, so I don't think he's going to take offense. Good guy, Chris Mullins, and the Lane Group. Great people. Appreciate their sponsorship of tonight's game.
Because I don't know if people understand our sarcasm and sense of humor up here. You know, we've already talked about missed signs, and I'm not sure if everybody's getting the references there. But again, you know,
I hope somebody's son is listening right now.
yeah, I do too. I hope somebody's son and you know, coach's player is listening, and hopefully we get a grasp on those signs.
There you go. All right.
Leading off for the Lady Wolfpack, number 20, L.J. Sweeney.
Okay, so L.J. Sweeney, the catcher, will lead off for Ridgeview here in the top of the 3rd inning. Sweeney struck out in the first at bat. She'll swing on the first one, line it to second baseman Brittany Mullins, who snow cones it and continues to hold it as a snow cone to show everybody, look what I just did. That'll be the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 22, Carissa Mullins.
Carissa Mullins, the first baseman, she hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning. Carissa has home run power.
Sorry, I got a little cracked up. I look, we was checking our teeth out here in the pitcher's circle. Somebody had something in her teeth, and we were getting it out.
Haley Mullins with a nice change. We talked about the nice changeup from Counts last inning. A gorgeous changeup from Haley Mullins there on the first pitch. Carissa Mullins swing and a miss.
That's about the second or third good changeup I've seen so far out of Haley Mullins in this game. We're just in the 3rd inning.
Second pitch is going to be taken for a ball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carissa Mullins, another one of these girls who played travel ball with Central. Powerful hitter. Pretty good pitcher in her own right as well. She'll swing and foul that one straight back at us. I flinched. I didn't see you flinch there, Wilson, but I flinched a little bit. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I have a little more experience being down here and seeing foul balls flying at me, so just unnerved by it at this point.
1-2 count. Haley Mullins will toe the rubber again. She's going to reach back and fire. That one's another changeup swung on and missed. Carissa Mullins way ahead of it. She's going to strike out for out number 2.
We are seeing some deadly off-speed pitches here so far, and we're just here in the top of the 3rd inning, getting counts with some good off-speed changeups, and now that's about the 3rd or 4th from Haley Mullins. That one gets the strikeout to bring up the next hitter for the Lady Wolfpack.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 34, Peyton Hill.
Peyton Hill, the right fielder, a senior. She hit into that double play in the 1st inning. She'll take the first pitch for a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike.
I'll be willing to assume that she will sprint and hustle to the first base bag this time, because that's really what cost her the double play in the 1st inning. She kind of slowed up, I think, just assuming the ball wasn't coming, and then it did, and got out at first.
She could have beat that ball, and heads up play by Central. That pitch is going to be taken inside. That's going to be strike number 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Again, we're in the top of the 3rd here. Ridgeview holds a 2-0 lead. 2 outs here for Ridgeview in the top half. Haley Mullins is going to pitch. That ball's taken just a bit outside. It'll run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kent Grant, Ridgeview's head coach, standing out in third base coach's box. Donnie Frazier, Ridgeview's basketball coach, in the first base coach's box. Pitch from Mullins. Another change up, and the hitter Hill way out in front of that, but just is able to make contact, so the count holds at 1-2.
A good 2-strike approach. At least got a piece of it. Lived to see another pitch. Not sure if she'd have made any more solid contact than that. She wouldn't have been out anyway. But again, on 2 strikes, you got to protect the plate, and she did.
Swung on and grounded. That's going to be to Hannah or Brittany Mullins at second base. She's going to flip it to Reagan at first. It looked for a moment like Brittany couldn't get it out of her glove, but she's going to run and touch first base on her own. But she gets rid of it and throws it about 6 inches to Reagan Dotson, who is able to somehow come up with that grab from 6 inches away to end the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors. At the end of 2.5, Ridgeview holding on to that 2-0 lead.
A good inning right there by Haley Mullins, going out there again, first pitch of the inning, getting the line drive to second base to Brittany Mullins. Good quick out right there. And then again, Haley Mullins recovering from that. We've got a strikeout and then a weak ground ball to second base. Good 1-2-3 inning for the Lady Warriors on defense. Good 3-up, 3-down inning for Haley Mullins out there on the pitcher's mound. Now let's see if the Lady Warriors can get some bats going and chip away at this 2-0 deficit.
And we've seen it time and again from Haley Mullins. When she starts getting warmed up a little bit, when she gets locked in, she really gets locked in. She's really able to sort of put the other team on their heels a little bit by just moving the ball around, changing speeds. And so by far the best inning of work she's had so far just now. So Central would have to hope. She's about to have one of her runs that we see all the time from Haley. And she'll get a chance to help her own calls as she's leading off here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
While we wait for Nicole Counts to finish up her warm-up pitches, I would like to send a quick thank you to Dave Dorsey for filling in for me here the other night. I was unable to make it. I had some middle school baseball obligations and was unable to get over here to help broadcast the last Lady Warriors game. And I'd like to send a quick shout-out to Dave for filling in and doing a wonderful job.
We've been getting texts and emails ever since wanting him back on the broadcast, Chris. I think he may take your place full time.
He can have it if he wants it. So come on up here, Dave, and fill in. I'll let you have this seat beside of me, and you can help Chad. Chad, all you need.
Or you can take my seat and help Chris.
Leading off the Lady Warriors, number 1, Haley Mullins.
All right, Haley Mullins will step into the left-hand batter's box to face her opposite number. Nicole Counts, first pitch swung on and fouled right behind the plate. So Nicole Counts will get ahead. No balls, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter.
Haley Mullins steps into the batter's box heavily armored, wearing one of those elbow pads, again, protecting the pitching arm. She throws right-handed but bats left-handed, so trying to make sure she protects that pitching arm and pitching elbow, make sure it doesn't get injured if she was to be hit by a pitch.
Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes now.
We're trying to do the same thing for my son. My son, he throws right-handed and bats left-handed, so we do have the elbow guard to make sure that the lead elbow or lead arm doesn't suffer, any real bad damage if it gets hit.
That'll be ball 1. And if you notice with Haley Mullins, she's known to slap that ball over the third baseman, shortstop's head. So she gets up in the front left corner, the inside corner of the batter's box as she hits. So she's susceptible to taking one off that elbow and certainly don't want to do something that's going to damage her ability to throw.
Yeah, and by standing in the front of the batter's box, she gives herself a better angle to slap that ball down the third base line.
She grounds it to Nicole Counts at first. The Counts will go over to Carissa Mullins. Nicole Counts, a pitcher, I should say. She fields it just outside the circle. Flips it over to Carissa Mullins at first. There's one away.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, the leadoff hitter, number 22, Brittany Mullins.
Okay, Brittany Mullins struck out swinging in the first inning. She'll come up for second at bat of the game with one out. Again, we're in the bottom of the third. Ridgeview 2, Central 0. Nice little crowd out here for tonight's game. Brittany's going to swing and lift the ball out to right field. That one may drop, and it does drop, but just foul. Strike one.
It looked fair there for a little bit, but just sort of trailed off to the foul side of the first baseline out in right field. Just probably about 2 or 3 feet foul for Brittany. So she'll come back and reset down 0-1.
Peyton Hill just unable to get there out in right field. So Brittany lives to see another day. She'll bat with an 0-1 count here. Count steps back on the rubber. She winds and she pitches. That ball's a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. I was saying, nice looking crowd here. Gorgeous night for softball. I see a lot of people up on the hill up there. I see the aforementioned Chris Mullins from the Lane Group. Brett Sykes, another one of these Ridgeview parents that I need to give a shout out to. Brittany Mullins swings and fouls this one off the left side. And Justin Sturgill really kind of a poor effort to get that foul ball over there. He looked like he was going to come up with it and then gave up on it at the end.
If you're going to be in the third base box, you better be ready to field some of those ground balls and not just bail out. And Coach Sturgill bailed out on that one. There's just no excuse for that.
It's a little embarrassing. All right. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brittany Mullins. Counsel is going to check the sign on her wristband. She'll step onto the mound. She knows what she's going to do. Here's the pitch. That's high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Olivia Mullins standing on deck. If you don't know the name of one of these players, as we've said,
Just say Mullins.
Just say Mullins. You're probably going to be right.
And that's on both sides as well. Again, Wolfpack have a Mullins out there as well on their team.
Brittany grounds it back to Nicole Counts, who comes up with it from her knees. Doesn't bother to stand up, throws it over to first base, and that's 2 groundouts to the pitcher to begin this inning.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 5, Olivia Mullins.
So if Counts ain't striking batters out, she's just having them ground the ball right back to her. She just fields it and throws it over to first base.
She's doing it all herself. That's 3 putouts by her to go along with 4 strikeouts. So she is doing most of the work herself today, as we said. She's a do-it-all type player for Ridgeview. First pitch from Olivia Mullins is grounded down third base.
Hey, there we go.
Coach Sturgeon heard us talking, I think. He made a nice play on that one.
A lot better effort on that one. Ranging to his right, about 2 or 3 feet, and bending over and actually making the play on that foul ball.
Makes me feel guilty for criticizing. That was a nice play down there. All right, Mullins, who struck out in the first at bat, is going to step in with no ball, 1 strike count. Pitch, a changeup, but that's going to be a little bit low, a lot low, actually. Hits just in front of the plate. That'd be 1 ball, no strikes. Olivia, not fooled, didn't offer.
Again, Lady Warriors putting the ball in play, not necessarily, some solid hard hits, but again, putting the ball in play here off counts. Just need to figure out a way to string together some hits, and so far they've been unable to string together back-to-back hits.
Mullins connects on one. She goes deep to left. That's up, and it's over the left field fence. That's a solo home run for Olivia Mullins. And just as we're talking about hard contact, Mullins connects with the drive over the head of the left fielder, Shay Sutherland. Central's teammates come out to surround the plate. Oh, they all fall down as she sets on the plate. Central's on the board.
For Olivia, that's her first home run of the season, according to the stats that I have. And again, I guess you start talking about the ability that we're making contact, just not hard, and suddenly they prove me wrong and drive one out of the left field fence.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 3, Brooke Porter.
Maybe her first home run of the year, but it's not her first one of her career. She's gone deep before, and all of a sudden we talk about the count sort of having her way a little bit, and Central's right back in this game. Not that they were necessarily out of it, but Porter, of course, the best power hitter on this Central team. She singled in the first inning. She'll get a chance to try to get something else going here.
Yeah, again, it goes back to what I was saying. We're making contact with the ball, not necessarily some hard hit balls, but we were making contact. Count struck out the side in the first inning, but the Lady Warriors did square up a few foul balls. We're putting the ball in play. What I was trying to say, just string together a few hits, and anything can happen. Or hit a home run, and you're right back in it.
Absolutely. That's going to be strike 1, so it'll go run the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. No balls and 2 strikes. I called that first one a strike. So Porter quickly into an 0-2 count here with 2 away in the bottom of the third. That was swung unconnected as well. That's going to go deep to center field. Center fielder Lauren Rasnick, though, will settle under it a few steps shy of the fence out there, and that'll end the inning. So for Central, they do get a run on the home run by Olivia Mullins. That's their only hit of the inning, but it's a big one. At the end of 3 complete innings now, Ridgeview 2, Central 1.
Again, Lady Warriors showing that, this game's probably not over again, even though Counts, as we said, was one of the better pitchers in the conference in the district. We're putting the ball in play. Again, some hard hit ground balls. Razek's made a few good plays. I keep calling her Razek. I'm sorry. Counts makes a few good plays. They're both up the middle. Counts, making a few good plays there in the pitcher circle to retire some Lady Warriors. A few weak ground balls. But again, we're putting the ball in play. String together a few hits, or hit a couple of home runs here and there, and you're right back in the game.
And if, as we said a moment ago, if Haley Mullins really is starting to get dialed in, all of a sudden this looks to be an extremely interesting game as we go down the stretch here. Top of the fourth.
Yes, you look at that third inning play, though. Again, Haley Mullins retired the side in order, 3 up, 3 down. Lady Warriors look like they may go 3 up, 3 down, but then Olivia Mullins hits that solo home run to cut the lead to 2-1. Brooke Porter drives one about 5 feet shy of the center field fence, and again, Lady Warriors with a little bit of momentum. Be nice to go out here now on defense and shut the Lady Wolfpack down again and keep chipping away.
Leading off, number 14, Shay Sutherland.
That'll bring up Shay Sutherland here for Ridgeview Lady Wolfpack. She singled in her first at bat, came around and scored in the second inning. The Wolfpack's second run gave them a 2-0 lead. In a little single that she blooped over the second baseman here for the Lady Warriors, Brittany Mullins, fell just in front of Olivia Basham out in right field.
Since that single, Haley Mullins has retired all 5 Ridgeview hitters.
First pitch from Mullins is outside and called a ball. That'll make the count 1 ball and no strikes.
Sutherland, another one of these sophomores.
Mullins toes the rubber, delivers the 1-0 pitch. It's down the middle. Ground ball back to Mullins in the pitcher's circle. She fires it over to Reagan Dotson for the first out of the inning. Again, Sutherland retired on a ground ball to the pitcher.
Mullins and Counts aside, they're just going to do it all themselves here all of a sudden. Ground ball right back to the pitcher, as we saw in the top half or bottom half.
Number 24, Lauren Rasnick.
That'll bring up Lauren Rasnick. In her first at bat, she bunted a sacrifice bunt that moved Sutherland to second base. It was a bunt to the catcher. First pitch, a hard ground ball to Gracie Mullins over at third. Great stop. The throw is not came up with by Reagan Dotson over at first base. Probably an error on Dotson. A great play by Mullins on the hard hit, one hopper right to her. Fired it over the first base, but unfortunately Dotson could not come up with the throw. That'll be an error, and one out here in the fourth.
Number 11, Lacey Williams.
That'll bring up Lacey Williams, who is a ground ball victim to second base in her first at bat. She swings at the first pitch, hits a ground ball to Haley in the pitcher circle. Haley fires it to the shortstop, Hannah Carter, covering at second to get the lead runner. Carter fires it to first. Dotson was unable to come up with that catch as well. I don't think that one would have mattered, as I believe the throw was late anyway. But again, we retired the lead runner there for the second out of the inning on the ground ball back to Mullins in the pitcher circle.
Number 25, Nicole Counts.
That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Nicole Counts. She doubled and scored in the first inning, drew a walk, but got stranded at third in the second inning.
Looks like Camden Sykes, who's the flex player today, is going to come out and pinch run for Williams at first base. Sykes, the third baseman, pretty quick runner.
And she'll enter the game at first base, but with 2 outs here on the Lady Wolfpack. But again, Nicole Counts in the batter's box. The first pitch from Mullins is high and away for ball 1. Got a quick timeout here as Brittany Mullins reties her shoes out at second base. Again, we have 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. We've had a few hard hit balls here by the Lady Wolfpack. Some back up the middle to Brittany Mullins or Haley Mullins, who made to play the hard hit shot to Gracie Mullins over at third. Second pitch from Haley's outside as well for 2 balls and no strikes. And you start losing your track of Mullins is when you start talking about him. You forget Haley, Brittany, Gracie.
Too many.
Maybe just going to say Mullins and we'll always be right.
There you go.
The 2-0 pitch from Haley Mullins to Counts is down the middle and driven high into left field. Gabby Hall has a beat on it. She comes up with the catch out in left center field for the third out of the inning. Lady Wolfpack leave a runner stranded on the air, unable to come up with any runs. So we'll go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Lady Wolfpack lead the Lady Warriors 2-1.
And really a solid inning from Haley Mullins. We talked about whether she's going to be able to continue staying dialed in, and she really did. I mean, a couple of ground balls, ball thrown away, or a ball that should have been caught maybe, but nothing really substantial. Nobody gets past first base. Pretty good inning to get back in here and maybe get some bats going again.
Yeah, she didn't throw a whole lot of pitches there. Lady Wolfpack were being very aggressive in the batter's box, swinging a lot of first pitch. Couple ground balls right there. Just good effective inning. Got the fly ball right there to end the inning off the bat of Nicole Counts. Good play by Gabby Hall to range over into left center field. Got her feet set and came up with the catch to retire the side. So again, Lady Warriors will come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth, with a chance to maybe tie it or take the lead if we can keep the bats hot.
all of a sudden, it looks like we have that pitcher's duel we talked about. We might get pre-game 2-1 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Again, both teams' offense, though, they're squaring the ball up. They're hitting it well, putting it in play. I kind of expected maybe a high strikeout game, but the strikeouts seem to have dwindled away, and both teams' defense is coming up with the outs now.
Maybe the team that has the more solid defense down the stretch is the one that ends up coming away with this one.
I'm going to guess the team that bats last wins.
I hope that's the case.
There we go.
Leading off, number 10, Gracie Mullins.
That'll bring up Gracie Mullins to lead off here in the bottom half of the fourth for the Lady Warriors. Gracie was a strikeout victim in her first at bat in the first inning. She was actually the third and final out of that first inning. First pitch from Counts is fouled off directly back behind the catcher and the umpire for strike number 1.
And Counts is not throwing a lot of pitches either. Central's hitter's aggressive, but Counts also staying around the zone, so making it more tempting for Central's hitters to try to attack these pitches.
Counts checks her signs on her wrist, and here's the 0-1 pitch. It's inside for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike to Gracie Mullins. Mullins steps back in the box. Counts checks her signs yet again. Toes the rubber. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Counts. It is a called strike on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes to the senior, Gracie Mullins. Go ahead.
I see a lot of fans out there just outside the center field fence. But nice for Gracie to hit one out there, too. And maybe hit one off Danny Hall's head out there. That'd be nice.
The 1-2 pitch is just outside for a ball. They'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was just about to say it'd be a good time for it because Danny wasn't really paying attention out there. In fact, he's looking out the traffic right now. So maybe we can catch one and pop it off of him right there. I'd take it just because it would tie the game up. No offense to Danny. The 2-2 pitch is grounded foul off Gracie Mullins' left foot. It trickles over here in front of the Lady Warriors dugout. The count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the Lady Wolfpack defense set pretty much at regular depth. The corners are even with the bags. Outfield playing Gracie straight up. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Give Counts her 5th strikeout of the game as Gracie Mullins strikes out for her 2nd consecutive time.
Number 20, Hannah Carter.
That'll bring up the number 5 hitter for the Lady Warriors, Hannah Carter. Hannah Carter grounded back to the pitcher to Counts in that first inning. Hard hit ground ball that Counts was able to make a good solid play on and throw Carter out at first base. Counts checks her signs and delivers the first pitch to Carter. It's swung on, and it's almost like a replay. A hard hit ground ball, 1 hopper to Counts. Counts fills it, throws it over to Mullins at first base to retire Carter for the 2nd out of the inning.
Carter and Counts, old teammates, old friends, but Counts is making it tough on her old teammate, Hannah Carter.
Number 13, Olivia Basham.
That'll bring Olivia Basham to the plate, the starting Warriors right fielder. She got a single pass Counts in her last at bat. Takes a strike on the outside corner for strike number 1. Again, it almost looked like a replay there. And the last time that Carter and Basham came up, both of them hit ground balls up the middle. Basham was able to get hers by Counts. I'm sure Basham and the Lady Warriors would like to see a replay of that, maybe another single up the middle. Little off-speed pitch that time on the 0-1 pitch from Counts. Basham swings and misses and falls behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
Basham kind of started the season a little slow, but had a huge day getting 4 hits over at Lee, and she's not slowed down since.
She swings and misses at the 0-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. LJ Swinney chases it down, fires it over to Carissa Mullins at first base to retire Basham for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Lady Warriors go 3 up, 3 down here in the home half of the 4th. We'll go to the top of the 5th with the Lady Wolfpack leading 2-1.
Yeah, again, talking about a pitcher's duel. Counts comes right back out for giving up the run on the solo home run the inning before. Nothing doing.
It looks like both pitchers are really settled in now. Not a whole lot of balls in play, not a whole lot of hits. And then the ones that are being hit right now, some good defensive plays behind the pitchers, and neither team really with a whole lot of threats. Again, the Lady Warriors hit the home run by Olivia Mullins there in the 3rd inning, but we haven't seen a lot of runners in scoring position since really about that 2nd inning. Last couple of innings, we're getting some gals on first base, but not getting the 2nd or 3rd, and not a whole lot of threats going on out there on the offensive side.
Well, Central's really not had anyone in scoring position except for the home run when she sort of jogged around the bases. Otherwise, I don't think had anyone in scoring position.
Leading off for the Lady Wolfpack, number 2, Hunter Grant.
All right, Hunter Grant, the Ridgeview Wolfpack second baseman, will dig in now. She's been on base twice. Got reached on a fielder's choice in the first, reached on a single in the second.
Let's go, chick. Come on, baby. Let's go. Are you guys
Did get an RBI on that single in the second to score the second Ridgeview run, and that is the margin right now. She'll take the first pitch for a strike right down the middle here. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Ridgeview 2, Central 1. No outs here as Ridgeview's batting in the top half. Grant will step in, ask for time for a moment. She'll dig in. Pitch from Haley Mullins. It's bunted right back to Haley Mullins. Mullins will throw it over to Brittany Mullins, covering it first. Easy play. They retire the first hitter for the first out.
A good defensive play right there. Haley Mullins sprints out the pitcher's circle, fields the 1 or 2 hopper there on the hard bunt back to the pitcher. Brittany Mullins races over to first base to retire the first batter for the first out.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 21, Bailey Frazier.
Bailey Frazier, the number 3 hitter, shortstop for Ridgeview. She'll hit. Star basketball player for the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Drives this one into the right center field gap. Olivia Mullins goes back on it. Olivia Basham goes back on it. No one's going to get that one. There's a solo home run over the right center field fence, and Ridgeview grabs that 2-run lead again. It's 3-1.
Yeah, good solid contact right there by Frazier. Drives the ball out the right center field. No chance for anyone to come up with that one as it lands probably about 20, 30 feet beyond the right center field fence, and that'll give the Lady Wolfpack a 3-1 lead on the home run by Frazier.
And a line drive the whole way, Haley Mullins had settled down. No one really making much contact. No hits against her in a couple of innings no hits since the second inning, but that was a big one.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 20, LJ Sweeney.
All right, well, the score now 3-1 Ridgeview. LJ Sweeney, the catcher, will step in.
Coach, we were talking about somebody hitting a home run out there to center field, maybe hitting Danny Hall out there, but we didn't exactly want it to be the Lady Wolfpack.
Well, there goes one at Danny Hall, but that looks like it's going to stay in the park. Olivia Mullins will settle under it for out number 2 of the inning.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 22, Carissa Mullins.
Both teams, of course, wearing black today. It's really sort of an odd combination. So I started to say we'd like for somebody on the team in black to hit Danny out there and over the center field fence, but that's not quite true at all.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. I meant to make a comment. This game moves so fast, sometimes it's hard to get those comments in. But yeah, both teams wearing black. It goes back to our opening night of baseball season when we were broadcasting. We were talking about uniforms.
That's right.
I believe if we had a little bit more time here this evening, we may have critiqued these all black uniforms a little bit more than that.
Both teams have gorgeous socks, though. We'll give them that. The first pitch was an off-speed pitch, if you remember, to Carissa Mullins. If you remember last time, heavy diet of changeups to Carissa Mullins. This first one, though, was fouled hard, sharply down the third base line for strike 1. Second pitch she'll take, though. That'll be outside for 1 ball and 1 strike. Mullins will dig back in, wearing her blue socks. Haley Mullins on the rubber with her red striped socks. Swings and almost hits Carissa. She gets out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I can't quite tell, Chad. Are those socks that the Lady Wolfpack are wearing, are they stirrups, or are they socks that are made to look like stirrups?
That ball's popped up just in front of the circle. Haley Mullins onto it quickly. Softly hit. That's going to be out number 3. I think they look like they may be stirrups, but we'll have to figure that out later. Because right now, that's the 3rd out of the inning on the pop-up to the pitcher. 1 run in the inning for Ridgeview on the home run from Bailey Frazier. As we go to the bottom half of the 5th, Ridgeview has a 3-1 lead.
I'm going to go with their socks. I think they're socks that are made to look like stirrups.
Well, that's probably true because it's been a while since I've seen players actually wear the actual stirrups like they used to back in the day.
Kids, they don't like them.
They don't like
I've bought some for some kids before, and they don't like how it feels underneath their foot because they've got that little extra layer. Again, we're probably losing viewers again as we talk about uncomfortableness of stirrups. But it's a new generation thing. I've learned now. I'm not that old. I'm not as old as you. But I seem to be old school in my approach. I am still a hand gesture signs coach. I've not bought into this elevate to celebrate mentality just yet, and I still like the old school stirrups. So maybe I'm aging myself.
Probably, but I guess it kind of worked. Your team went undefeated. Your middle school baseball team went undefeated in the conference, so maybe your style works well too.
Yeah, that we did. I'm sitting there thinking, here we are in the bottom of the 5th. We've been playing for just right at an hour here in this ball game. Last night, we had a marathon game where we played 3 innings, and I believe it took just under 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
at least it felt that way. I believe it was about 2.5 hours to play 3 innings last night. But again, My middle school team came away victorious over Lehigh with a nice 18-1 victory to complete the season with an undefeated Mountain 7 district record. So I was proud of those boys and those young men for their hard work and hard effort, and had an outstanding season.
They worked hard. Good team.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 35, Callie Mullins.
Just so you know, I did get a text just now that says our teams are stirrups. Central's are actual stirrups, as you can see there on Callie Mullins, but Ridgeview's are socks, I've been told.
Okay. Ridgeview are socks, but here's the thing with the Lady Warriors. They're wearing black stirrups with black socks underneath. Very, very difficult to tell that they have stirrups on.
But if you look close enough, you can tell. There's ball 2 to Callie Mullins, the leadoff hitter for Central in the bottom of the 5th.
And thanks to whoever is listening while watching the game, that could relay that information up here to us.
It was the only person that's listening. Swung on and grounded just wide of first base. That's going to be strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike. Is the only person that was listening that texted me just now. It was my wife, Sabrina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so thanks, Sabrina. Appreciate you.
So she's the one that probably does the laundry, so she knew that they were separated stirrups. And
you just called me out there. I walked right into that one.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Ouch. Thanks, mommies. All of you. Mother's Day coming up. All the mommies, thank you. Callie Mullins will swing and miss at that one. It's going to even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And on that comment, I'm sure the moms are glad that we're not wearing all white uniforms and we're wearing all black uniforms here today. I've caught a little bit of grief over the years for my all white uniforms that I really love.
Oh, that ball's looks like to be about 4 or 5 inches off the outside corner of the plate, but the umpire disagrees. Strike 1. Strike.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 15, Gabby Hall.
Out number 1, I should say. I just announced over the PA system it was strike 1. So we wonder what we're talking about here. Maybe they'll tune in now.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, we are doing an outstanding job because we're doing the job of about 8 people up here, and there's just 2 of us. So
National anthem.
great
PA.
job.
Swung on by Gabby Hall, the freshman left fielder for Central, fouled off. Strike 1.
Had to scramble a little bit for the national anthem. And on that same topic, quick shout out to Bubba Ty, the voice of the men's Warriors, who broke out and in a little bit of a panic the other day and actually sang the national anthem. I couldn't quite do that myself, but he didn't miss a beat. Grabbed that mic and belted it out. Did an outstanding job there earlier in the season. I believe I would have just had to say play ball instead of belting it out myself. But luckily, thanks to Technology Day, I was able to find a quick version of the Star Spangled Banner and
I was hoping
save
you were
the
gonna
day.
sing.
Nope.
No. Hall fouls off the second one, so she's down at 0-2 in the count. Next pitch is inside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gabby Hall. You're right. A few nights ago, a game that we weren't broadcasting, they had a little trouble getting the national anthem, and I think it was our buddy Dorsey we've already talked about played bad to the bone instead of so the girls got a kick out of that. The parents were horrified. So Gabby Hall swings and lifts it to right field. Right fielder Peyton Hill comes in and with a little bit of a basket catch in front of her makes the play. I thought that ball might drop in, Chris.
Yeah, there's a slight sun problem out here for the right fielders, but it looks like she has the aviator shades on out there, Miss Hill, and was able to come up with the basket catch out in the right.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 1, Haley Mullins.
All right, 2 away now. Haley Mullins will step up to the plate. Mullins, the starting pitcher. She grounded out to her opposite number, Nicole Counts, in the first inning. She'll foul off the first pitch right behind home plate, and that'll be strike 1. Again, it's 3-1 here. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Game moving right along. Pretty good pitching on both sides. 2 big flies, 1 for each team. Olivia Mullins with a home run for Central's only run. Ridgeview shortstop Bailey Frazier with a line drive home run in the top half of this 5th inning for the 3rd run for the Wolfpack.
And Haley Mullins in her at-bat approach gets way up in the box, as you mentioned before, Chad. Again, gives her a better angle to slap that ball down the third base line. Gives her a little more room. If she stands in the back of the box, she'll be hitting from foul into fair territory. At least this way she can be in fair ground and maybe try to angle that ball over the third baseman's head for a base hit down the left field line.
And she does that extremely well. She's hitting 9th in the order, but not necessarily because she doesn't get on base. She's another one of these sort of second leadoff hitter for them. Really good at that and quick coming out of that right-hand batter's box, getting down to first base. She's a good athlete as well.
Yeah, she entered the game batting .361.
She'll swing and ground this ball down the right field side, just about right-hand side, just about hit her as she ran past it, but it's going to dribble harmlessly foul. But she's Haley Mullins in an 0-2 hole here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, almost a little swinging bunt right there down the first base line. Unfortunately for her, it trickled a little bit foul because she would have had it beat if it had stayed fair, but just trickled foul down the first base line.
Okay, so she'll dig back in. Nicole Count steps on the rubber. The pitch, way outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nicole Counts, I'll tell you, is not going to get intimidated by anyone out there. Counts, you see she's wearing that face mask. I'm going to tell you a story about that in just a moment. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. That'll be out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors for Central. And once again, we'll go to the top of the 6th now, 3-1, Ridgeview. And as I was saying about Nicole Counts, game a couple years ago in travel baseball during the summer, Counts in a championship game around midnight one night took a line drive, one of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen, off her forehead. She wasn't wearing a mask at that time. She's never gone back out there without a mask since then, but really scary moment. But to tell you what type of a player Nicole Counts is, the very next week, she was a starting pitcher in the first game for the team in the tournament.
So you see a lot with that with the softball players. They wear the face mask. Just they are a lot closer to the action. For protection. I look at the Lady Warriors right now, though, and 3 of the 4 infielders that we have out here right now, none of which are wearing a mask. And Haley Mullins is wearing one in the pitcher circle, but again, she's standing about 40 feet away from the batters. So again, not a whole lot of reaction time if you're the pitcher to protect yourself.
Leading off, number 34, Peyton Hill.
Peyton Hill will lead off the inning here for the Lady Wolfpack. She, so far on the game, is 0 for 2. She grounded into a double play to the shortstop in her first at-bat. And then in the 3rd inning, she had a ground ball to Brittany Mullins at second base and was also a ground-out victim. Again, if you recall, in the first inning, she was the one that grounded into the double play. Again, they had the bases loaded, the Lady Wolfpack did. With 1 out, she had a hard ground ball to Hannah Carter at shortstop. Carter fired it to Brooke Porter for the first out. And then Hill, not necessarily hustling down the first baseline, was retired from Porter on the throw to Dodson for the double play. The first pitch is down the middle for a called strike 1. 0-1 to Hill. Haley.
And Hill in that first inning, second inning, first inning, look like she almost stopped before she got to first base.
The 0-1 pitch from Mullins is high and swung through by Hill. Probably a ball, but Hill could not lay off of it. She'll fall behind in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes.
So in the top of the 6th, Ridgeview's got 1 hit since the second inning. I'll tell you, she really is locked in. But that 1 hit, of course, was the home run.
Yeah, big home run by Frazier there in the last inning out to right center field. The 0-2 pitch is high and away. Run the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I noticed with Haley Mullins, a lot of times you get to hit 0-2, and it seems like the go-to pitch is that either away or high and away pitch, maybe hoping someone will chase. So far, not been extremely successful with that. The 1-2 pitch is inside for a ball to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Peyton Hill.
Well, you got to pitch to waste, take a chance and see if they'll go after it, like that.
The 2-2 pitch is lined softly into center field. Olivia Mullins races in, makes the catch to retire Hill for the first out of the inning.
Number 14, Shay Sutherland.
That'll bring up Shay Sutherland, the starting left fielder for Lady Wolfpack. She singled and scored in the second inning, the second Lady Wolfpack run, and was a ground ball victim back to Haley Mullins in the 4th for the first out of that 4th inning. She comes up with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The first pitch from Haley Mullins is outside for a ball, 1 ball, and no strikes.
13 hitters. Last 13 hitters, only 1 has collected a base hit against Haley Mullins. So she really is pitching well. Just Central's going to have to score some runs to make it hold up.
The 1-0 pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. That will run the count to 1 ball and 1 strike to the Wolfpack left fielder, Shay Sutherland. Haley Mullins peers in, gets her sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It is swung on and missed by Sutherland. That will run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, it's 3-1 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Lady Wolfpack with a 2-run lead, adding that insurance run off the home run by Bailey Frazier in the top of the 5th. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Sutherland for the second out of the inning. Haley Mullins with the strikeout, and that'll bring up the next Lady Wolfpack hitter.
Number 24, Lauren Rasnick.
The starting center fielder for the Lady Wolfpack, Lauren Rasnick. She so far on the game is 0 for 1. She sacrificed an out in the second inning and reached via an error in her last at-bat. On that error was a hard-hit ground ball, I believe, to the third baseman that Gracie Mullins was unable to retire the out on the throw to first base. She takes a called strike on the outside corner for no balls and 1 strike to Rasnick. The 0-1 pitch from Mullins is swung on and hit softly to shortstop. Hannah Carter races in, makes a great hop play, fires a bullet over to Reagan Dotson at first base, and that will retire Rasnick for the 3rd out of the inning. So Lady Wolfpack go 3 up, 3 down here in the top half of the 6th. and the Lady Warriors have the top half of the order coming up, trailing 3-1.
And that was a play that could have been tricky. It was really sort of soft liner just over the pitcher, Haley Mullins' head. Hannah Carter had to come hard from shortstop. She did, catches it on one hop, and fires an absolute bullet over to first base for out number 3.
Yeah, typically those soft little liners like that, typically they have some spin on them one way or the other. They'll have some side spin, and when you let that ball bounce like that, it'll kick one way or the other. But Carter did a great job fielding the hop. Came up and, like I said, fired a bullet over to Dotson at first base to get that very tough out. Again, it didn't look like it wasn't a very hard hit ball, but it's one of those plays that, it's tougher than it looks.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those plays that, as a defense, you want your defense to be able to make, but it's not as easy, like I said, that it looks when the ball's first hit.
When it became evident that it was going to get over Haley Mullins' head, I thought, it could be in trouble because these are short base paths out here. That looked like one that could get in for an infield single or kick one way or the other. So really nice play by Hannah Carter.
All right, we got a big inning coming up here for the Lady Warriors. Got top of the order up, and again, trailing 3-1. We need some damage here from the top of the Lady Warriors lineup.
Leading off, number 22, Brittany Mullins.
Leadoff hitter Brittany Mullins comes up. She was a strikeout victim in the first inning, and in her last at bat in the third inning, she hit a ground ball back to Counts up the middle that Counts was able to come up with and retire Brittany Mullins at first base. So Mullins enters the at bat 0-2 with a strikeout and a ground out.
Down 3-1, top of the order. This is where Central's going to try to do their damage.
Brittany Mullins with a check swing fouls it off the right-hand side fence for a foul ball, strike number 1. It looked like a pretty good pitch down the middle by Counts. Mullins was unsure of whether or not to swing. She had a little, I don't know if I'd even call it a half swing. It was about a quarter swing that the ball in the back kind of connected and fouled it off to the right-hand side.
Little excuse me type swing.
The 0-1 pitch is grounded weakly and foul down the third baseline. Coach Sturgill now making the last 2 plays that were hit over there to him. Actually, putting a little more effort in over in the third base coach's box. Comes up with that ground ball foul.
He's hoping to make all district out there as a defensive player in the third base coach.
The defensive third base coach. There we go.
Right, yeah.
But again, the pitch is a strike. So Mullins with 2 foul balls falls behind in the count. The count's no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. I believe Brittany Mullins disagreed with that. The pitch did look slightly outside from our point of view, but with 2 strikes, you can't let the umpire take the bat out of your hand.
I probably agree with Brittany on that one, but you're right. With 2 strikes, you've got to, especially since these umpires have really a wide strike zone all day, really probably need to be swinging at that one.
Number 5, center fielder, Olivia Mullins.
That'll bring up Olivia Mullins. She has accounted for all of the Lady Warriors offense here. She hit a home run in the third inning, her first of the season. The first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner for no balls and 1 strike. She was a strikeout victim in the first before, like I said, hitting that solo home run to left field in the third. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Counts. It is grounded to the shortstop, Bailey Frazier. Frazier fires to first base, Carissa Mullins. Good stretch by Mullins over at first base to retire Olivia Mullins for the second out of the inning.
Number 3, catcher, Brooke Porter.
Really nice stretch from Carissa Mullins there at first base. Play that was a little closer than it should have been. The throw was a little bit high. But, and of course, Olivia Mullins getting down the line quickly. Nice play.
It wasn't a hard hit ground ball, a couple hoppers, but again, it was a lot closer play than it originally looked like it was going to be. And I believe a lot of that had to do with the slightly high throw. But again, a good stretch by Carissa Mullins. The first pitch to Brooke Porter is fouled off directly overhead for a strike, no balls, and 1 strike. Brooke Porter so far in the game is 1 for 2. She had a single in her first at-bat, and then her last at-bat had a deep drive to center field that fell about 5 feet short of going out to dead center field. Ended up being a fly out to Rasnick in center. The 0-1 pitch is low and in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Porter needs to hit about a 3-run homer here. What do you think?
It would be nice. I'm just not sure if it's possible.
Hey, don't doubt Brooke Porter. She can do anything.
The bases are empty here with 2 outs in the 6th. Brooke Porter hits a hard ground ball in the hole between shortstop and third base. That'll be a single. Shay Sutherland comes in, fires it to the second base, Hunter Grant. So with 2 outs, Brooke Porter reaches via the single, and that'll bring up Gracie Mullins.
Senior, number 10, the third baseman, Gracie Mullins.
This will be a good time for Gracie Mullins to put one in play. So far on the night, she is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. A big hit here now would really make things interesting. And the Lady Warriors trail 3-1. A deep fly now would even this game up. First pitch from the Counts, is low and inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Second time in 3 at-bats that Brooke Porter's collected a 2-out hit, but has not advanced past first base yet.
King Gracie Mullins represents the tie and run. She hits a ground ball just fouled down the third base line. Ricochets off of Camden Sykes' gloves in foul territory. again, Coach Sturgill there to help back up and make the play. It's 3 in a row now by Coach Sturgill. Ever since we kind of got onto him, he's stepped up his game a little bit.
Well, let's be honest. Camden Sykes doesn't need any help out
No.
there. She's doing a fine job at third base. So leave it to her, Justin.
The 1-1 pitch to Gracie Mullins has caught a strike on the outside corner. That'll make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Gracie Mullins represents the tying run here in the bottom half of the Warriors' 6th. Brooke Porter stands at first base with a 2-out single. The 1-2 pitch to Gracie is swung on and grounded to Sykes at third. Sykes fires at the first to retire Mullins on the ground out. Again, a weak ground ball to Camden Sykes over at third. Gracie Mullins will be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Lady Warriors are unable to do anything with the 2-out Brooke Porter single, and we'll go to the 7th and final inning with the Lady Warriors trailing 3-1.
As we head into that final inning, Central's only scored 1 run on 4 hits, and Nicole Count controlling the game well. Ridgeview, of course, only 3 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits themselves. So it's a pitcher's duel.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of goes back. You go back and look at that first inning, a few miscues right there by the Lady Warriors defense. Getting bases loaded, first and second with nobody out. Hard hit ground ball that the Lady Warriors were unable to make the out, the force out at third. Then the next ball, ground ball that we were unable to come up with the out at home. So you take that run off the board, it's a 2-1 game, and you might feel a little better about your chances going to the last inning. But right now, a 2-run lead against Counts. I think Lady Warriors can do it, but it's going to be a challenge.
It's a tall order. Let's talk again about our game sponsor tonight, the Lane Group, providing engineering, architecture, surveying, and environmental services throughout Virginia, East Tennessee, and Western North Carolina. Office locations in Big Stone Gap, Abingdon, and Galax, Virginia. The Lane Group. Thank you very much for supporting Sturgill Sports Media. 9-1-2 here for Ridgeview as we begin the top half of the 7th inning.
Leading off for the Lady Wolfpack, number 11, Lacey Williams.
Lacey Williams, the designated player for Ridgeview, will bat to lead off here in Ridgeview's final at bat. She's grounded out to second base and hit into a fielder's choice in her last at bat, but was stranded at first base. Mullins, a right-handed hitter. She'll dig in. First pitch swung on and lifted behind first base. Brittany Mullins gets under it, just behind, right before she steps onto the grass, collects it for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 25, Nicole Counts.
So back around to the top of the order, Nicole Counts, the standout pitcher for the Ridgeview Wolfpack, will hit. She's 1 for 2 on the day. She doubled and scored a run in the first. She walked, stranded at third in the second. She also lifted a fly ball out to Gabe Hall in left field in her last at bat. She'll take the first pitch of the ball.
Yeah, that one looked good.
I don't know what we're watching here sometimes, Wilson. The 1-0 pitch, that one is certainly well off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. And we saw this the last time Counts batted. She was retired on a 2-0 count, but Haley Mullins stayed way outside on her. Brings this one way inside. That's going to be ball 3. So she's dug herself a little bit of a hole with 1 out in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, ever since Counts hit that double there in the top of the first inning to lead off the game, it looks like Haley Mullins tried to stay away from her a little bit more and not let her do any damage with the bat.
And that'll be ball 4. She'll take her base. So with 1 away, Nicole Counts has reached first.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 2, Hunter Grant.
And Hunter Grant, Ridgeview's second baseman.
But again, when you're down 3-1, you really don't want to pitch around him, especially nobody on base. You like to make him earn it, not just put him on base. But again, if she's a deep threat, then maybe walking her beats a home run.
First pitch, Hunter Grant's taken for a strike. Nicole Counts out there on first base, the runner for Ridgeview. Big secondary lead out there. Looked like she might have been going. Reporter behind the plate stares at her. Counts, retreats back to first. The 0-1 pitch to Hunter Grant, high and away. Again, a good secondary lead. She's not going anywhere, though. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hunter Grant. Hunter Grant is 1 for 3 on the day. She singled in the second. She's also hit into a fielder's choice and grounded back to the pitcher, Haley Mullins. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Counts is going. The throw from Brooke Porter to second. Close play, but Nicole Counts is safe at second base. That's another stolen base for Nicole Counts, her second stolen base of the game. And she'll be in scoring position now with 1 away and a 1-2 count on Grant.
Yeah, I was watching Counts on that. She got a great jump over there. I don't know you may have to educate me a little bit on the rules. But it was a great jump by Counts. She was ready to run. You could tell she was stealing. Great jump and just barely gets ahead of the Porter throw.
Grant fouls one just over our heads here. Count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, she does get a good lead as soon as the ball's released by the pitcher, Haley Mullins, and she got the really good jumps. The first 2 pitches, decided not to go. Porter was all over it, and Porter had a pretty quick release, unable to get her at second base in the stolen base attempt. 1-2 pitch, that was wasted high and away. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grant gets a handful of dirt, steps back in, stares down the pitcher. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Down the middle, lined into the left center field gap. Center fielder Olivia Mullins will cut it off. She's throwing home. Cut off by pitcher Haley Mullins. It's an RBI single for Hunter Grant. And here in the top of the 7th, Ridgeview extends their lead as counts crosses home 4-1.
Yeah, big insurance runs right there by the Lady Wolfpack to give them the 3-run lead. Again, it goes back to, like I was talking about before, you walk counts there on out.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 21, Bailey Frazier.
You go back to that to the walk. You walk the counts there on 4 pitches. You'd maybe like to see her earn it. If she gets a hit, she gets a hit. But you lead off with the walk, you put a runner on and a base hit, a stolen base, and then a base hit, you score a run. So you give up a run on a walk and a hit instead of making them get 2 hits and string together some base hits.
Absolutely. Ball 1 to Bailey Frazier off the outside corner. Second pitch is lined softly to second baseman Brittany Mullins. Hunter Grant dives back into first. There's 2 outs.
Now batting for the Lady Wolfpack, number 20, LJ Sweeney.
So LJ Sweeney, the pitcher, will bat now. You're right. I mean, walks will haunt, they say. You put that runner on base, and then she really good coaching by Ridgeview, having counts, quick runner, good athlete, steals second, gets her in scoring position.
Yeah, you come in the inning that she only get, Haley don't give up 4 hits.
Right.
So, what are the odds they can string together multiple hits back to back?
Sweeney lives a pop fly out left in foul territory beside third base. Gracie Mullins settles under it, and it settles harmlessly into her glove. So that's the 3rd out, but you're right. She gives up just 1 hit. That's the 2nd RBI single of the game for Hunter Grant. Extends that Ridgeview lead 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th, and we're going to need some fireworks to have a fun senior night.
Yeah, have a good inning. But I mean, looking back at the book, I don't know how many times Ridgeview's even had back-to-back hits. So by walking counts to lead off the inning, you're putting a runner on that against you 4 straight balls. So you really didn't have to earn much in that at bat. So you walk her again. You're down by 2 anyway. So you walk her. She's still second. Now you got to give up 1 base hit. Next thing you know, the 3-1 lead stretches out to 4-1. I would just like to see go ahead and pitch to the batter, and if she gets a hit, she gets a hit. Great. But again, when you're down 3-1 with nobody on, make them earn the base hit and see if they can't string together some hits. Something that they haven't done a whole lot of, if at all evening, stringing together back to back or multiple hits in a row.
And they haven't done it all evening. Neither team has gotten back-to-back hits this game. So, again, a tall order as we go into it. But these Central bats, we've talked about it before in our broadcast, and we've seen it all season long. They've got the bats to do it. And we're going to have a couple of sophomores and a couple of freshmen coming up, but they're absolutely capable of getting back in this game. Gabby Hall, the freshman who will be up 4th in this inning. She had a big hit in a game against John Ballard this year, so certainly capable. They wouldn't be in the lineup if they weren't.
Again, Hannah Carter's going to lead off. She's hit the ball hard twice, but unfortunately for her, she has nothing to show for it. 2 hard ground balls that Nicole Counts was able to make a play on up the middle. Hannah Carter could very easily be 2 for 2, but instead she's 0 for 2 because of the good defensive play by Nicole Counts in the pitcher circle.
All right, the Ridgeview infield will crowd around pitcher Nicole Counts. They'll talk. They'll toss the ball around a little bit, get themselves a little motivated before the inning starts here, and we're going to head to crunch time here.
Leading off for the Lady Warriors, number 20, Hannah Carter.
All right, bottom of the 7th. Ridgeview 4, Central 1. Hannah Carter will lead off for Central.
Here we go now.
Central needs base runners right now, so Carter needs to look for a pitch she can drive. Make sure it's there. Don't help Counts out, but make sure it's there. Counts will toe the rubber. First pitch is called a ball. That's a little high. No, it's called a strike.
A bloop, and a blast, and we got a tie ball game.
That's right.
Or a walk, and a blast. You got to get on. You can't score 3 without 2 guys getting on, so we need 2 on before we can do any damage. We got to get base runners on base.
1-0 count. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Counts, of course, has not walked a batter today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts, no walks through 6 innings for Nicole Counts. 1-1 pitch. Low and away. Carter goes after it. Fouls it off over the Ridgeview dugout. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. It'll be Basham on deck.
7 strikeouts and countless ground balls hit right back to her that she's made some great plays on to retire the outs as well.
she's as advertised, no doubt about it. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on, and Hannah Carter for the third straight time grounds it back to Nicole Counts, who somehow skates by her. That's probably going to have to be an error on the pitcher.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 13, Olivia Basham.
So we said we need base runners, however you can do it.
Yep.
For the third straight time, Carter grounds back to the pitcher circle, but this time she reaches, the leadoff hitter's on, and Olivia Basham will step in.
Oddly enough, probably the weakest ground ball of the 3 that Hannah Carter has hit, and Counts was unable to come up with that one.
And Olivia Basham hits a grounder hard right at the third baseman, Camden Sykes. Outstanding play by Sykes at third base. She corrals it, gets the lead runner, Hannah Carter, at second base.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 12, Keely Balthus.
Yeah, hard hit ball right there by Basham. Again, you compare it to the ground ball by Carter. Carter was hit weakly that Counts could not come up with. And then Basham comes up and hits a rocket to third base that Camden Sykes was able to come up with and retire Carter on the force out at second base. Great play by the third baseman Sykes right there.
Sykes, a fine young player, sophomore, outstanding play. First pitch to the pinch hitter here is going to be Keely Balthus, number 12. That'll be taken for a strike on the outside corner. Keely with home run power herself. But we need more than 2 runs here. Swung on and fouled right off the plate. It'll bounce back behind the umpire, and Balthus quickly in an 0-2 hole. That's softball for you, as they say sometimes. That's baseball. A little dinker right back to the pitcher. Runner gets on. Ball crushed to the third baseman. It's an out. It's a crazy game. All right. No balls, 2 strikes. Balthus digs back in. Counts is ready. She'll deliver. Swung on and grounded right back to Nicole Counts at the pitcher, right in front of the circle. She'll jump on it, throw it to first. Carissa Mullins over there, and the Central Warriors are down to their final out. Olivia Basham will advance to second base.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 15, Gabby Hall.
Gabby Hall 0 for 2 on the day. She hit into a fielder's choice in the second, flew out to the right fielder, Peyton Hill, in the 5th inning. She'll bat with the Gamla line. First pitch swung on, a foul down the right side. No balls and 1 strike, and just relentlessly, Nicole Counts is pounding the strike zone. Rarely getting behind, really having her way.
Outstanding effort right there by Lance Compton in the first base. He sprinted to go get that foul ball. Was that a sprint?
I'm not sure I'd quite call that a sprint. Grounded again to third baseman. Takes a bad hop off Camden Sykes at third. Bounces off her shoulder. Gabby Hall will reach first.
Now batting for the Lady Warriors, number 1, Haley Mullins.
All right, so Olivia Basham advances to third. Let's reset it here with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning.
So, again, Sykes makes the great play on the hard hit ground ball off the bat of Basham to retire Carter at second base. And then that one hit nowhere near as sharp by Gabby Hall, and Sykes unable to come up with the play. Gives the Lady Warriors a chance here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th.
All right, runners on the corner, 2 outs. Haley Mullins trying to help herself, swings and grounds it again to Camden Sykes. Sykes fires it across to Carissa Mullins at first, and that'll be the ball game. Ridgeview 4, Central 1.
Yeah, tough blow right there. Again, Lady Warriors had a chance, gave himself some life there in the last inning. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Haley Mullins comes up and hits a little dribbler down the third base line. Again, Sykes had a lot of action there in the inning. Hard hit ground ball by Basham came up with the play, and then a weaker ground ball by Gabby Hall was unable to come up with that one. But they gave themselves a chance. They went down fighting there, but unfortunately for the Lady Warriors, will come up just a little bit short and fall to the tied for first place still Lady Wolfpack in a 4-1 loss.
Outstanding effort by the Wolfpack. 4 runs, 5 hits on 3 errors. Left 10 runners on base for the Ridgeview Wolfpack. 6 runners on base. Central 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors, and left 5 on.
Again, if you're tuning in right now, tonight was a senior night here for the Lady Warriors. Lady Warriors with 2 seniors on the night. So we're going to go ahead and step aside here so we can do some senior night festivities. And we'd like to thank our sponsor, the Lane Group. Again, they provide engineering, architecture, surveying, and environmental services throughout Virginia, East Tennessee, and Western North Carolina. They have office locations in Big Stone Gap, Abingdon, and Galax, Virginia.
Okay, so, a tough loss for the Central Warriors. They hope to get a win against a team that's tied for first place, unable to grab that. Another in a string of tough losses for the Central Warriors. That'll be all for us here today. Thanks to our game sponsor, the Lane Group. Again, Sturgill Sports Media is the host for these broadcasts. Support our sponsors. Share the broadcast link on Facebook and Twitter at Sturgill S Media, on Facebook at Sturgill Sports Media. And if you want to become a sponsor, Sturgill Sports Media at evansturgillphotography.com. Join us again next week when I think we're going to be broadcasting some Central High School baseball, right, Chris?
Yeah, I believe Tuesday night we have the Warrior men up against the Union Bears over at the Shoup Field. So if you can't come out to watch that game, tune in. I'll have the play-by-play action. I'm not exactly sure who I'll be joining with. I'm not sure if you'll be there, Chad, or who I'll be partnered up with. But, again, we'll be bringing you that action. First pitch probably scheduled for roughly about 7 o'clock Tuesday night.
All right, that'll be it from Dotson Memorial Field here on the extended campus of Central High School. Final score, Ridgeview 4, Central 1. For Chris Wilson, this is Chad Dotson saying so long, everyone.